I'm Emmanuel Oduro Darko. I was the former general manager of COA, and I can say that I've spent all my life working with credit unions for over 41 years. I work for the African Confederation of Cooperative Savings and Credit Association, which is a head office for all credit unions in Africa, APEX bodies, for 6 years. And I work with the Canadian Co-operative Association as a management advisor for 6 years before I became the general manager of COA. And I feel that knowing what a credit union can do in the African continent is so strong that every government should be able to embrace the concept. I joined them in 1978, but the movement itself started in 1955 in Jirapa by the Catholic Church, and it spread throughout the whole three northern regions before it came to the southern part of the country. In the southern part, we have Sampa and then Rokomos in Takra, the railway workers, and it came to St. Peter's and St. Gabriel. St. Gabriel was 1968, St. Peter's was 1969, before it came down to Accra. And by then, all organizations, workplaces, all had credit unions. It was flourishing, simply because we had a donor or a partner from Germany, Western Germany, Konrad Adenauer Foundation. They were supporting the promotion of credit unions in the country. So it spread like bushfire. So Ghana had three types of credit unions. The community type, based in the rural areas, agricultural areas, or farmer zones, or a local community. And then we have the church base, we call them parish base. We have about 194 churches operating credit unions in Ghana. Then we have the work base. Now most of the workplaces have developed credit unions for the workers. So in a nutshell, we have over 500 credit unions operating in Ghana now. Somebody will ask, who was managing you as an institution? We operated under the Department of Cooperatives, which is under Minister of Employment and Labor Relations. They were promoting cooperatives, and they are the government arm who registers cooperatives to become legal entity under NLCD 258 of 1968, 252 of 1968. So all legitimate credit unions are registered under this law before they are affiliated with COA as a legal entity. In 1968, there were few credit unions dotted around the three northern regions and the southern part, and they thought it wisely to form an association called COA, Credit Union Association of Ghana. So COA, as you see now, is over 50 years, a little over 50 years, which is owned by the credit unions themselves, because they found out that there were some services that they needed, but they could not provide by themselves as individual entities. So COA was formed in 1968 to offer education and training, supervision, something like technical services like bookkeeping, loan policies for them to know how to lend effectively, auditing services as well, and also advocacy. When the government made any policies that we feel that will not help the growth of the system, COA has to go into lobby. And COA also has to make sure they put all the credit unions together in a united front to be able to understand why they exist and to be able to work effectively. We don't exist because of the money. We exist because we want to change the lives of the poor, the needy, those who are frustrated, those who don't have hope, and then teaching them that little drops of water can make a mighty ocean. So if they learn how to save and manage money effectively, they could change their lives. So our movement is not for money. We are not looking for profit as a motive. We make profit just to build reserves to maintain the long-term sustainability of the system. But that is not the primary motive of credit unions. Our motives is to help people to change their lives and live a better lives. So we don't count our successes on our asset sizes, profit that we make. We look at how many people build houses and house their family, how many people educated their children to tertiary education, how many people even marriages, death. Death can cause people to borrow from money lenders no matter the rate. We save the dignity of people by giving them a soft loan to bury and pay it back. Now so many youth want to have further education. Credit union supports that. So the only way life can be a bit moderate and enjoyable is for people to be adequately fed, clothed, and sheltered. And this is our basic principles. So we were there before so many banks came into being in Ghana. Microfinance came in the late 90s up to the early 20s. We have been there for years, managing ourselves and then supervising our own system as a self-regulatory system. Until of late, a Bank of Ghana came in that, once we are deposit-taking institution, they want to supervise us. Even we develop a law to them that we want them to supervise us, well, some of them were growing to be larger institutions. So we felt that there should be more discipline in our system, which took them more than 15 years before they passed the law for credit unions. We have been taking care of ourselves, so the relationship between us and the Bank of Ghana has been very, very cordial. And we feel the regulation, if it comes at all, is not there to destroy us. It's there to strengthen us, to grow, and to expand our system to the rural areas. As I was saying, we have contributed so much to human development. When you go to the rural areas, it has supported some farmers to expand their farms, improve their seedlings and everything because of soft loans that are provided by the credit unions to these people. They farm, they save, they know it belongs to them, and if they kill it, they kill their own institution. So though we have a level of delinquency in the farming zones, some of them have been existing for the past 50 years. They are still working. When you come to the workplaces, previously even among teachers, they were all crying, the salary is not enough. But when they organized credit unions, so many teachers put up their affordable homes, were able to educate their children. Nowadays, when you go to teachers' general meeting, credit union, you'll find a fleet of cars all parked around. Previously, you wouldn't find something like that. But of late, we have been seeing such things happening, that they are happy because of what they have done to improve their lives through the credit unions that they had. So in workplaces, we have so many credit unions, over 300 credit unions that are work-based, who are doing very well. The largest in the country is Legon Employees. They have expanded it to other sectors. But I tell you, it has been there getting to 50 years now. I think we have to appreciate what they have done. It is well managed or professionally managed. We have so many in other regions, Abossman Ketre, at the Techiman, Doma areas. You go to Ashanti region, remnants, St. Peter's, St. Gabriel's. You come to Eastern region, Hydro, and Accra, uncountable. We have done. So many of them have built their own structures, which is owned by the credit unions themselves. And they are managing it no matter what. So the role of KUA is only to provide them with membership education, technical services that they could not do it by themselves. Among the technical services is the Central Finance Facility that requires all credit unions to maintain 5% of their assets around the Central Finance Facility, so that when they have shortfalls in liquidity, they run there as a lender of last resort. You know, that's why the current turbulence in the financial system did not affect so many credit unions, because they have a backbone. You know, we have an insurance within our system here that if a member say take a loan, say 10,000, and the member repay 8,000, and the member dies or become disabled, we pay all the 10,000 to the credit union, and then the 8,000 that the member repaid is refunded to the beneficiary. And within 2-3 weeks, the payment is done. We have done this over 30 years, and that's why a member borrowed to build a house, he dies, and the house belongs to the member, and the loan is also paid by the insurance, you know, and any repayment made by the member is also refunded to the beneficiary. And we have the savings scheme that doubles your savings up to 10,000 to the beneficiary, you know. So the fact that when we lose a member, sometimes the whole house comes to a standstill. Children stop going to school, wife becomes disorganized, and credit unions, no. The moment we lose a member and you are within the insurance system, there's a fund that is given to the beneficiary to keep the house going. Some receive up to 60,000, 120,000 Ghana cedis, and that keeps the house still moving. And then it keeps children going to school. A wife can use some of them as initial capital for businesses, and I can say that has stabilized also the credit union. We have the deposit guarantee, which assures the public that when the credit union collapses, members will get their savings back. It has few challenges, but I feel with new management, they are going to perfect it and make it work as is demanded of them. So we have so many facilities that we use to back up the credit unions, you know, when they have troubles or weaknesses here and there. So people may ask us, why have you been in existence for so many years without people knowing you? Yes, mostly we don't market ourselves, you know, because we do it for people who have the desire and willingness to change their lives. So we don't need your money, but we need you to change and lead a better life. So those who want to change, they come to the head office and say, oh, please organize one for us. And when a group initiated themselves, it works better than we're going to promote it among people who are not ready. So that's how we sell ourselves around Ghana. Of late, we have seen what has happened in the economy. And we have seen so many banks and loan saving companies, microfinance institutions collapsing here and there. And I think credit unions has not been affected. We have few of them which have been affected because people in the rural areas and certain places, they don't know the difference between a credit union and a microfinance institution. A typical microfinance institution is made for profit. Individuals can organize themselves with their own capital, open offices, collect people deposits, give out loans. Sometimes when it collapses, you will not see the owner again, they are gone. A credit union is a group of people who want to change their lives, who agree to save among themselves and help themselves. So one is a self-help institution. The other one is a money-making institution. Though they are all geared towards helping people, but interest rate in one side could be very, very high. We charge reasonable interest rate, and the profit go back to the members themselves. That's why we have existed. So once people don't know us, they only think we are the same. So when there's a run over a microfinance and there's a credit union nearby, people also rush there. And sometimes we are quick to meet the members and talk to them, and they will stop. Others that are far off probably didn't get information very fast, and then sometimes they run into few problems until KUA organizes itself and go there and then stop the problem. So we want to make it clearly that we are different. We have been here for almost 60 years plus, and then we have not encountered any liquidity or any problem of this nature before. And we were there before even most of the banks in Ghana came, including microfinance institutions. We know how to work with the poor, how to work in the villages, how to work with workplaces, and even the churches. As I said earlier, we have 194 churches operating credit unions. We know how to work with them as well. So what is happening now, we wish credit union members understand that we are not part of that problem at all. We are still managing ourselves. In our account language, we say "kokambe kami." Some of them have brought these problems and it has affected some of the credit unions, but we are still strong on the ground. KUA has been very effective over the years because we develop operational policies, financial policies, administrative policies, loan policies, condition of service into models and give it to the credit union to improve it and use them. We have regional offices that visit credit unions periodically and make sure they are doing the right thing. We work with Department of Cooperatives. They are the government arm in auditing credit unions. Even promotion, we go together. Supervision, we go together. So there's no supremacy to say we are government, who are you, and no. Our aim is to help people to develop their lives. So we have been working together. If you look at all the African countries, I think Ghana stands unique because of our relationship with the department and how we do things together. That has made us strong. We have what we call standards, which is higher than what is required by the banks because we are not experts or we are not proficient like the banks. So we have liquidity levels. Every credit union should maintain not less than 20% of the total assets liquid. And I can tell you, some of them have 45%, 35%. So credit unions are liquid. But only now, most of them invested in some of these investment companies, which is now defunct or having a problem. But once we didn't invested in only one investment company, we are still in the market working very well as if nothing has happened because what has happened has impacted at a minimum level within the credit union fold. So I can say that people should not panic because of what is happening. But such challenges are bound to happen. We have external factors. When it comes, you either die or you survive. We don't need to blame anybody or say that this person is the cause, this institution. All the institutions that are dying, apart from one or two, are legally registered institutions. So if a creditor had invested their money in any one of them, they were all legitimate. The only thing is that there are external factors that has accounted for their dying. And so we should learn a lesson from this and then learn how to invest our money in future, learn how to educate people to understand that the world is not free. At a point in time, you may encounter such harsh conditions, which is externally done. And we shouldn't allow this to get us discouraged or kill us. No, we should continue to expand our membership and everything because people need us more than ever before. So we should be able to market ourselves very well, take advantage of the current situation, and make people to understand that we are still alive. So people should do business with us, and they are not going to regret at all. We will advise all credit unions. KUA was developed by them, started by them, funded by them. So those who become a bit proud and somehow when their credit union grow larger, they feel they can manage themselves. There is no strength than unity. We have been uniting together for years, and such unity should continue. Credit union should contribute to the central finance facility, because you don't know the time your credit union will be hit by what has happened now. We should learn a lesson from it, for people to save more at the central finance facility, contribute to COA programs, and build our association, make it very strong to be able to provide the required services to ourselves. When we are going to technology, if we are going alone, it's very, very expensive. Yes, we all have to put our minds and funds together and then develop a banking platform which will be shared among all the credit unions and make the cost of it much easier. Otherwise, the use of technology is now becoming normal for all banks and other things. They are leaving us a bit behind, and we should be able to prepare ourselves to move towards that. The current crisis also taught us a lesson that those who are having less capital were hit harder than those whose capital base is very strong. Because sometimes you find a credit union of a capital base of 30 million. So if your investment, you have lost 5 or 10 million out of it, it doesn't shake the credit union at all. I will assure the public that most of the credit union, about 90%, the capital base is strong. So we have encountered few losses here and there from some of the investment companies. It will not shake our system. We are still strong on the ground. There's a few places in the farming areas who rush so fast and then didn't understand what is happening, didn't know the difference between us and microfinance institutions, and therefore rush for their money and try to dismantle their credit union. But if this message, they can get this message, I will assure them that credit union don't die. We'll repair it and make it work, because it's human development centered. We want to help them, for them to help themselves. So they should be ready to work with COA, listen to COA and their pieces of advice, attend COA training programs, participate in the Central Finance Facility, participate in the insurance programs, the deposit guarantee, employee pension plan. All these things were meant to make the credit union strong and make the member who is down there much stronger than ever before. All our objectives is to improve the lives of our members. Yes, you see, when you go to Germany, we started the credit unions in 1846, down to Italy 1849, to Austria, to what we call France, and to Canada in 1902, and US in 1909. All of them used the credit union as a way of reducing poverty. That was the main objective, to reduce the hardship, poverty levels, the frustrated, those who don't have hope, to bring them back into life. So when it came to Africa, it was rich for that, because they needed the credit unions, and we still need it, because if you look at the unemployment rate, you look at the population growth, you look at women with 1 or 2, 3 children without husband, single mothers suffering and then getting themselves frustrated. You look at every church becoming full because the hardship cannot be addressed until they go to church to somehow receive a consolation. You find that the credit union is highly needed in our country here. We need the support. The support should not be something that will dominate us, because we are neutral from any political or religious sect. All what we are looking at is the human being we need to develop. So government should look at how they can support this positively to reach the poor. We are talking about agricultural financing. Where do you get the finance? Can you support every agricultural movement in this country? You can't. The government doesn't have the money, but the people have the money. So if we educate them and they try to save, they will create a pool of funds to continue to lend themselves sustainably for the agricultural system to grow. When you come to workplace, it's the same. If a worker is disturbed or having financial problems, the output reduces. so many organizations that have strong credit unions, their output is very, very high because people know how to solve their immediate and then future problems. So they have the confidence in their work. While you go to the churches, yes, you cannot make somebody spiritually strong if the person is saddled with social and economic problems. So still, the churches find those that have credit unions to be much stronger. Members are happier. When they are doing contribution, they contribute effectively to the church as well. That's why so many churches also cry for their members to have credit unions. And I can tell you, we have more than 4,000 employees in the credit union. And if each person is supporting a mother and father and to plus their children, multiply the multiply effect. And looking at the number of credit unions that have built houses, if you are building a house, you employ masons, the carpenters, the artisans, they are there. You give them job here and there. So we have been giving so many people jobs, keeping them busy all along and paying them. Understand? So we have also created employment all around. Market women taking loan to expand their businesses, engaging 2, 3, 4 girls or women. That is a contribution to it. So we don't only take loans for consumption. So many people take loans to improve their businesses, expand their businesses, increase their profitability. Farmers take loans to expand their farms. So our contribution to the economy is immeasurable. When we say measurable, it's because you cannot measure the inputs or the outcome of our system in terms of money alone. Before a country can be happy, it has to start from the family level. So if the family is happy, it extends to the village becomes happier, and it's a point to the nation. If you have a disorganized family, it will also go through to the top. So that's all what we do. So we feel that we need some sort of support from our governments, not a support of bringing money to dominate us, no. That one is not the support we want. Capacity building at all levels, do you understand? Institutional strengthening at all levels. This is what we need to help the credit union grow. Kenya did that, and they are leading in Africa. The government does not interfere in the credit union sector, but every minister, parliamentarian, whether opposition or what, are credit union members. So when they see that something is going wrong against the credit union, they go to parliament and then enact a law to protect it. Now they have a tribunal. If you take a loan from a credit union, you don't pay, they send you to the tribunal, and then a case is judged very fast. Here is where Ghana, you carry some people who have borrowed to court, and they will keep on dragging the case, and you end up spending more money than what you are going to collect. That means we have not taken our time to study the credit union system and its impact, positive impact on the economy. If we are to do that, I think it will help so many people in Ghana and Africa as well. My final word is that the credit union has come to stay from 1955 to now, 64 years. And it has done a lot, changed the lives of millions of people in this country and Africa as well. So if we have an institution with employees, just invite us and let us come and talk to them. They either join one closer, one that is near to them, or if the place is viable, organize a new one for you to also operate one. But we need people that are sincere. You understand? That trust themselves, that don't want to take advantage of the poor, but want to change the lives of people. It's more religious than some of the churches we are attending. Because before you become a religious person, you have to love human beings, mankind. We are putting up church building everywhere. Is it the building that we are changing, or the human beings in the building that we are changing? People are in the church very poor and frustrated. But we are contributing to build structures all over. You understand? It means we are failing to define our priority right. If every church decide to even donate one hospital bed to any hospital of their choice. Our wives and pastors' wives will not go and sleep on the floor when they are going on delivery, you know. So you find that there are so many things lacking, but we are looking at only the government. Our credit unions perform this role very well. Every year, they do the social responsibility, donating to hospitals, children's homes, and other areas that we feel they need help. And I think the churches should be able to do that very, very well, to let the poor also feel that they love them. So that is what we do. So we wish churches that want to form one, should consult us. But we don't confine it to the church. When they would do it, they open to the community to also save the lives of others. And the 194 churches have all opened their common bonds to embrace the public around them. So churches, business organizations, rural communities, they need our help. And I think parliamentarians should have the interest and support of their villages to operate credit unions for them to finance themselves instead of waiting for government to come and provide the funds which is not available. Thank you.